How's it going, everyone? This is Javita. This is going to be a quick video on world regeneration. This was requested by Xantos. You certainly know how to pick them. Anyway, a few notes on how the world of Boundless works. Any changes outside the protection of a beacon will eventually be regenerated by the server, whether they be additions or subtractions. This process is based off of groups of 4 plots called chunks. Each plot is 8 by 8 blocks / meters, so each chunk is 16 by 16 meters or a 256 block square. At any time, you can access the debugging menu by pressing the period key twice. Here you can find a wealth of information including your coordinates and information on which chunk the block you are looking at is in. As you may have noticed, there is a clock ticking in the lower right corner of the screen. This was started the moment my camera guy was in position. Since I can't be certain when the timer was started on the server for the changes, it's difficult to nail down the exact time required for regeneration, but it is sufficient to say that it takes about 13.5 hours for changes to regenerate. I also must stress that while I'll be cutting out sections of footage, all footage is played back in real time. If you don't believe me, feel free to keep an eye on the wild stock in the frame. As you can see, terrain regenerates roughly in the order in which it was removed, in an almost boiling motion from the ground up. Placed blocks act slightly different in that they roughly disappear in order of oldest to newest. However, this is not entirely accurate as the rock symbols in each plot were some of the last things I added. It would seem safe to assume that once a chunk is labeled for regeneration, that it undergoes a gross blanket process rather than a finely detailed and ordered regeneration. Furthermore, as you can see, only a portion of the test area was regenerated, so player presence will disrupt the regeneration process up to 4 chunks away. This player disruption seems to be somewhat of a sphere rather than a simple square, as some of the rock formations and sand regenerated within this range. This is possibly explained by those changes being offset to the sides, or that removed terrain regenerates at a slightly closer range than placed blocks. One thing that I cannot fully rule out is the possibility of random players stumbling into the experiment and disrupting it. However, all these experiments were performed on Vina 5, one of the most uninhabited planets in Boundless. However, given that this was about the 5th experiment I performed, I say this is pretty reliable measurements, as all experiments regenerated at 13.5 hours, and all changes that did regenerate were either 4 chunks away or off to the sides of the test range, and limited to removed blocks only. Given that each experiment takes 13+ hours to result, not counting setup time, I feel that these findings are close enough for now, not to mention this is way more than I ever expected to capture on camera. Anyway, that should wrap up this video quite nicely. This was Javita. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And if there's anything you didn't like or you have suggestions for new videos, please let me know down in the comments. Until next time, peace.